Hey guys, today we're going to be learning a move which is very useful when doing lots of different tricks such as cards from impossible locations, things like that. Can be used in the ambitious card routine. It's a method of folding a card into quarters and it's very fast. It's called the Mercury card fold, and literally you can do this in about a second, 2 seconds, and it's completely unnoticeable to spectators. When you get it down, you can do it quite fluently, quite quickly. So in the background here, I'm just showing you guys what this looks like. So you can see the folding action happens beneath the deck, under the cover of the left hand, and added with a bit of misdirection, bit of patter as well. This plays really well. Spectators won't notice it at all. And I'm also just showing you there a couple of uses of this move. So you can see there with the paperclip, you can do a little switch. That move there, right there, is actually Jay Sankey's paperclipped move. It's a great ending to an ambitious card routine. It's how I end my ambitious card routine myself. And then you've also saw that one where the folded card ends up in someone's shoe, and you can just empty it out into your hand, and it's a signed card. I'll be teaching that in a separate video as well. So those are a couple of different uses of this move. Let's get into it. So obviously before we begin, don't try this move if you don't want to wreck your cards, because your cards are going to end up all folded like this, and then obviously when you unfold them, you can't just put that back in the deck and keep on using it as a normal card, because it will stick out like a sore thumb. Okay, so if you don't want to wreck your cards, don't try this move. But if you've got plenty of cards just lying around like I do, plenty of duplicates, this is a great move to try out. Okay, so to start off this move, you want to have the deck in this position right here, so it's face up. And this is because when you end up folding the card, I'll just show you with this ace of spades. I know it's already been folded, but it's going to make it quite easy. If I have this ace of spades on the bottom of the deck, when I fold that card up, like so, it will end up folded like that. So you can't tell the identity of the card from this, how it's folded, because if it's not folded with the identity on the outside, if you get what I mean. Okay, so if I was to do it with the deck face down, the fold would end up looking like that, which obviously you don't want. So you need to make sure when you do this move, the deck is face up, and you need to ensure that the card that you want to have folded is on the bottom of the pack. So in this case, we're going to use the Jack of Hearts, and we're going to place that on the bottom of the pack, and that's the card we are going to fold. So once you're in this position, you want to be holding the deck in a normal mechanics grip with your left hand, and then you want to come across with your right hand, and this is the positioning for the fold. You take your right thumb and you're going to jam it into the deck. The deck needs to be in this fleshy part of your hand right here, so you really jam it in there, and your thumb should be in about centre of the pack. You don't want it too far right or too far left, because then one of the folds it'll be too far one way. So if you want a really good fold where it's in perfect quarters is what I mean. If you want a really good fold like that, you need to make sure that your thumb is central as possible. That's going to ensure you get a good fold. So you come across like that, your thumb's like a 90-degree angle. Your hand is making a 90-degree angle like this, and you're just jamming the deck in there like that. And once you've done that, you're sort of ready to begin the fold. You release the deck in mechanics grip, because now you're holding it in this right hand like this. Your front right fingers are just gripping the deck like that, and then you're going to come upwards with your left hand, and your fingers make this sort of wall. Okay, and you make sure your fingers are all together. They make this wall, and they're going to push backwards, and that's how the first fold is going to occur. Okay, so with this Jack of Hearts, if my fingers just push backwards, you can see if I push upwards, apply a bit of pressure on that jack, and then I pull backwards, it's going to push that jack against my thumb. It's making him bend. Okay, and as I push further and further back, that jack is getting bent perfectly in two, and you can see that first fold occurring just like that until it touches. You want to jam that card fully against your thumb to get that fold really good, and you can see that first fold has occurred. So once again, card you want folded is on the bottom. You're holding the deck in this sort of position. You come across with your left hand towards the front, create that wall-like feature here to block off any view the spectator has. Apply pressure upwards on the jack and then pull backwards, and that will fold the jack in two. Okay? So you can see there that first fold has occurred. To do the second fold, you're just going to curl your fingers inwards. Okay? So you can see if I curl them inwards, it starts to bend the card around my thumb. And that's how the second fold is created. And to finish this fold, you need to get your thumb out of there. So just pivot it out, and keep curling those fingers in. You can bend them inwards, and really make sure that fold is quite defined, quite strong. And that will create this perfect fold into quarters of this card. Okay. So you can see now if I let go, I've folded that jack into perfect quarters. Okay. And that's all happened under the cover of the deck, so the spectator won't have seen any of that move because it really happens very fast, and because you've got your hand here covering it, the move is completely invisible. Okay, so from this angle you need to really jam the deck into this fleshy part of your thumb, and your thumb should be at that 90-degree angle there. Once you're in that position, you can come across it with your left hand, and you go towards the front of the pack right here, and then you're just going to sort of pull it backwards, and you'll see that it starts to bend against the thumb. Okay, so you pull it backwards with that index finger, and you can see the card starts to bend, and you're just going to keep going back with your index finger, pushing this card backwards. You need to make sure that it's covered from this angle by keeping that whole hand. You need to have no windows between your fingers like that. Obviously, if you have your fingers separated there, they'll be able to see the card. So ensure your hand is completely flat with no gaps, no windows between the fingers. And you keep going back with that hand until it reaches the thumb. And you really want to press it into the thumb, okay? Now because that thumb is in the centre of the card there, it's going to help creating that second fold as well. But the harder you jam it in, the better the first fold will be as well. Okay? So that's the first step there. So we've folded the card in half that way. You can't see anything from the front, obviously. It helps if you keep this left thumb down as well. It's a bit less suspicious. And once you're there, all you're going to do is you bring these fingers here. You start to curl them in around the thumb, and then you can take the thumb out as you fold that card in. And you can see there, that's completed the fold as you just curl those fingers in. They'll end up right on the fold. You can press quite hard and that'll make sure the fold's quite neat. Again, from the front, doesn't look very suspicious at all. So you've done it there, and now you're ready to go. You can actually release the deck with your right hand because you're holding it with your thumb here, and then you can continue with the patter until when you want to. You can just take away the deck with the right hand. Focus attention on this, and actually the secret move has been done, and you're ready to dispose of this card somewhere else. So you can then do a card to an impossible location using this folded card. So you may find that folding the cards just from their standard state is a bit difficult. It's a bit stiff. You can't exactly get the folds dead on, and I agree, this can be a bit tricky. Something that makes this a lot easier is if the card you're folding is already slightly bent. Okay, and a great solution to this problem is use this move at the end of your ambitious card routine. If any of you have watched my ambitious card routine video, you'll know that we end up with the signed card bent like this. Okay, and the last move in that effect is you have the bent card on top, and you snap your fingers, and it seems to jump to the top because you release that bend and it jumps. Now, if you haven't seen that video, it'll be linked down in the description below. But one of the great things you can do right now is you've got that bent card on top. This is a lot easier to fold now. Okay, watch, it hasn't been folded other than that slight bend, but watch how easy it is to fold. You don't really need to apply as much pressure with your hand, because it'll this first fold is really simple to do, and once you're there, it's just a matter of finishing off that fold, and it becomes very, very easy. It's very fast as well. So if you're struggling with getting that fold down, just think about adding it to the end of your ambitious card routine. and then you can do a really amazing closing effect using this card now. So you can do a signed card to a shoe, signed card paper clipped up, as I showed in the introduction to this video. Loads of different options you can do. That's just a way to make this a little bit easier. Okay then guys, that's going to be all for today's video. If you did enjoy it, don't forget to leave a like, favourite, comment and subscribe. And if you'd like to keep up to date with what's going on my channel, make sure to check out my Twitter and Instagram accounts. The links will be down in the description below. If you enjoyed this move and you want to learn a bit more about how to use it, what effects it could be used in, I'm going to be putting out a few other videos based around this move. So I think the next video of my channel will be the card to shoe video. So you can get a card that's signed, appear in a shoe that you're wearing, empty it out in your hand, and it's folded up. It turns out to be their card, so which is pretty amazing. That's going to be the next video up. Should be up pretty soon, hopefully. So look out for that. But in the meantime, this has been Complete Deception, and I'll see you later.